It does not get any better than this. Check out the view behind me. We are in the Santa Monica Mountains. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a brand new 2021 Lincoln Aviator. This is the Grant Touring package, a brand new car with a price tag of $72,000. This car was given to me by Lincoln of Santa Monica. Major thank you to them. The car has shown me that Lincoln is back on their A game, and I'm going to show you why I say that. And without sounding too much like an Oscar speech, I do have to send a major thank you. Big shout out to all of you for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers in 90 days. I promise I will not let you guys down, and I know that because the best of my content is yet to come. Next weekend, I am filming one of the fastest cars I have ever driven. The following weekend, I've been invited to one of the most exclusive car clubs in Los Angeles. Stay tuned for all of those. Without any further ado, let's jump into the Lincoln and let me show you everything. I am going to spend a bulk of my time discussing the interior on this car because that is the major selling point. It's unbelievable in here. But before we get into that, I need to note the engine on this car. This has a 3.0 V6 twin turbo hybrid. It's an all-wheel drive, and the power figures are ridiculous. 495 horsepower, and are you ready for this? 630 torque. Where the hell did Lincoln get 630 torque from, and where have they been all these years? I promise I will show you what 630 torque in an all-wheel drive hybrid feels like in a little bit. But first, we need to dive into the cabin and discuss the interior. Getting into this car, the first thing you notice, other than the panoramic roof, of course, which we've all gotten used to, is the materials in here. They are gorgeous. Every material better than the last. I mean, you have leather all over the dash. You have wood. You have this beautiful piano black all around, even on the air conditioning vents. You have the metal outline. And up here, what might have looked originally to you like this kind of cheap Ford material, but when you touch it, it's soft. It's this kind of grainy leather, and everything in here, they have just put thought into every angle of this car. When I got the call from Lincoln telling me that they were interested in having me do a review on the new Aviator, they asked me which one I want. They gave me a list of colors, and I stopped them. I said, I need a black one with a sandstone interior. Lucky for me, they had one in the Grant Touring package. Being in a black big SUV, you just feel so accomplished. I feel successful. This one, having the hybrid system, it's so quiet in here. I can literally hear my net worth going up by the minute. We're gonna start with the steering wheel. When you look at it, it doesn't look like it can do too much. There are a few little lights here and there. You see some buttons, and you have two joysticks on the sides. But inside, they have hidden so many of the features, and I'll show you why that's so cool. For example, if you wanted to do cruise control, you hit the cruise control button, and now all of these little options light up. That is the coolest thing, to hide unnecessary things. Another example of that is when you use the joystick on the right. Say you wanted to go to your music or point of destination or phone, you aim it to that side, and now it only highlights the two options that you have. It corresponds to what's in the dash in front of you. Lincoln found a very cool way of hiding unnecessary features, and I think every car should do this any chance they get. Did you notice on the top of the steering wheel, where my left thumb would be, is the voice controls? Take me to the nearest Starbucks.
When ready, press the voice button and then say, set as destination, or dial the number.
Set as destination.
Setting new destination. Obey traffic laws, be alert, and use voice commands while driving.
The voice control is a little bit slower than I wish it was, and that's one thing I'm not crazy about, is the infotainment. Ford and Lincoln still have a little bit of a ways to go to catch up to the big guys, the Audis, the Mercedes, and BMW. But for, you know, a new kind of refreshment on the Aviator, this is an amazing start. And besides the infotainment, everything else is just on par. And I'm going to show you why so much of this car is better than any of its German competitors. Now, if you look down here and you think immediately that these buttons and knobs look overwhelming, they're not. The top half is just going to be your audio, the lower half is your climate control, and all of the materials here are beautiful. They have little switches for the actual climate, for the seats, for the AC, and you have knobs where you need them. I mean, it's surrounded by this gorgeous wood. I don't know if that's real wood or if it's fake wood, and I don't care to know because it feels and looks real to me. I'm happy with it. Now, if you thought that I loved the gear selector in the Mustang Mach-E or in the Ford Bronco Sport, I expected them to throw that into this because, again, Ford owns Lincoln, and you would think that they're going to put in more and more of the Ford parts. Not with this car. This has an even better system. Look at these little switches. How beautiful is that? We don't need a big lever anymore. These little switches here are just, they're hidden. They're beautiful. You know where they are. They're right there at your fingertips, and they feel great. That you always know what gear you're in. It's lit up. This is the way it should be. The drive mode dial is down here in the center, and when you start scrolling, you see how cool these things are. The graphics, you have conserve, you have excite, which will be your sport mode. I'm going to be in normal mode now, which is going to be your quiet. It even says effortless and balanced. In the center here, it's closed and it looks beautiful with this dark wood. But if you open it up, you do have a giant storage pocket, and next to that you have a large cup holder with some more storage in there. If we just look at the door and you look at to the left side of the door, look how much beautiful material is over here. I mean, when have you ever seen a car with so much beauty to somewhere where you never really look, to the left side of the driver? Even the switches for the lights, the toggle, I mean, it's such a wonderful feeling, beautiful. I mean, the materials are great, everything looks good. Let's look at the door now. The seat controls are on the door, but obviously this car can do much more. So you click this little button and it takes you to your screen now where you will adjust all of your lumbar support. Now, getting out of the car is interesting. There's no lever anymore. We got rid of it. Technology is moving at a fast pace. We have a button now. That's how you get out. But there is an emergency lever below that in case your battery dies. Another cool thing, a very underrated feature. I used to see this, 20 years ago when I was a kid. Ford always had the keypad to enter, and I love that because now I'm appreciating it. If you go surfing or you go somewhere where you want to leave your keys, wallet, everything in the car, you just need to remember your keypad code. You get in, you don't need to take anything with you. It's awesome. And on top of that, there's a little red icon that tells you if your car is locked or unlocked. You simply click that. You never have to take the key fob out of your pocket ever again with this car. We've talked a lot about the front. Let's jump into the second row now. The second row consists of two captain's chairs. They are individually separated. They have this cup holder in the middle with some storage pockets. Very cool. The coolest thing back there is the little screen that's in the center. Now you can control your climate and your music, everything that controls the rest of the car and back there. But most importantly, you have the calm mode. Look how nice that is for a road trip. You put that on. I mean, of course people are going to fall asleep back there. And even the second row seats, they have a button to open the door as well. They don't get a lever. I love that. Now, to discuss the third row seating, let's jump into the trunk. Let's open that up. Once you get inside, you see there is plenty of room even with the third row up. Now, below your trunk there, you have some more cargo space that you can utilize if need be. The floor mats are in there, extra things from the dealership, but it is fairly deep. On top of that, if you wanted to lower the seats, fully automatic. The third row, fully automatic goes down, and even cooler, fully automatic retracts back up. Not a lot of cars do it retracting back up. I'm glad Lincoln kept that for this car. Other than the main infotainment on this car, which is the only thing that's a little bit laggy, everything else is so responsive. All these switches, the toggles, everything looks, feels, and actually reacts really well. I mean, the car has 28 speakers in it, and I must say, they sound so good. One of the things that surprised me the most was I always thought the Aviator was a baby Navigator, but there's nothing baby about this car. This is a full 3-row seating. I mean, tons of cargo, tons of space. The car is huge. I have so much distance between myself and the passengers. I mean, there's nothing small or baby or compact about this car, and it feels big inside. I mean, you would think you're in a Navigator. I've spent plenty of time talking about the interior. Let me get to the exterior design really quickly. I'll make a few points. First off, I have to say this is one of the most attractive cars I have ever seen. I truly say that in design sense alone. You look at the slope in the rear, that gives it this aggressive but sleek look. That is why it's happening. It's because of that slope from front to back it's getting lower and lower. The design, the lights, I mean, everything is so sexy about this car. And here's a feature that has gotten some criticism, and you would probably expect me to criticize it based on my previous comments I've made about people with fake exhausts. But check this out. When you go to the exhaust and you look below it, you see the actual exiting is right there, right below the actual exhaust. Why is that? Very cool answer. Lincoln knows this is not a performance car. People aren't buying this to go racing. They want a clean, nice, luxurious feeling car, right? Why dirty up the end of the exhaust there, which gets dirty so quickly? I mean, that's something that needs to be cleaned every time. Now it doesn't get dirty, only below it. Now let's switch to Excite mode and let's see what 630 torque feels like. All-wheel drive. Oh, it sounds almost like a V8. Oh, that is really fast. Oh my god. 630 torque. Does it stand a chance? Do we stand a chance? You know, the truth is, I wouldn't even use that power often. Maybe just entering the highway, just on an on-ramp, but that's about it. This car is so comfortable. I would always want it in its softest mode, and I wouldn't play around by putting it into Excite, getting it louder. No, I like it quiet. I like it soft. Everything in here is just dreamy. The materials, I mean, the car is just flirting with you in a way. You look around, everything is just glowing. It's amazing. I really haven't fallen for a car's interior like I have for this one. Now, Lincoln of Santa Monica is offering $1,000 retail cash plus 1.9% for 48 months on this car. This one has a $72,000 price tag. Now, it starts at $51,000. Once you add the Grant Touring package, you get up to $69,000. As I said, this one has a $72,000 price tag. And I must say, at $80,000, $90,000, you can just package this to be the best SUV you could ever dream of. I mean, there really is no need to go beyond something like this. It's going to be a hard time to make a argument that a Range Rover over $100,000 is worth it. Once you're in a car like this, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful place to be in. No road trip is too long in a car like this, I am telling you. Call Lincoln of Santa Monica, tell them the color you want, the package, the interior. I would highly recommend the black exterior and the sandstone interior. That's what I requested when they called me, told me they wanted me to do a review. That color combo just represents the badass Lincoln and just overall this market, this SUV luxury kind of executive market. You need the black exterior. It's subtle when you want it to be, but God, does it shine in the sun. Lincoln, for a very long time, I felt was on life support. I mean, the original Aviator, we're talking in the 2000s, this was a bad car, and Lincolns in that time were just kind of Fords with a little bit more leather. I mean, they were bad cars, and I wasn't sure where Lincoln was gonna go, how they were gonna revive themselves, but God, they really have done it. They have outdone themselves. They rebranded. The Lincoln name is now, again, sophisticated. It's high class. It says something about the driver. Before, it just said that you couldn't afford a German luxury car, so you settled on what was considered the American luxury car. No, this is real American luxury now. Really, the interior, I mean, it just outclasses so many of its German rivals. And with all that said, that wraps up yet another video. Thank you so much for watching, and a major thank you to Lincoln of Santa Monica for hooking me up with a gorgeous example of the Lincoln Aviator. Call them, tell them you want the deal that Adam mentioned in his video. I want to thank all of you once again for subscribing, getting me to 1,000. If you've not already subscribed, please do so now. You don't want to miss the future content. I will see you guys in the next car.